This is Doris Sander, and I finally have my October bullet journal ready to share. So these are the colors that I picked out for October, and I am completely delighted with them this month. They're so bright and happy. I was kind of going with fall colors, but like a brighter version of them. So I have the oranges and the golds, but instead of, I've got the bright pink and the blue October sky, and then instead of reds I have these pinks, so it really turned out to be a fun color palette. And these are what I use to make my colors, to put the colors down on the backgrounds. The Tim Holtz Distress Stain. So I used pickled raspberry worn lipstick, spiced marmalade, dried marigold, fossilized amber, twisted citron, and broken china. And so every month I've been picking out a different color palette to use. So this was last month and this month. Super fun. And then I do a quote page. You see last month. Just kind of, I try to do an interpretation of the quote with my colors and so on. And then this is my month at a glance. And I love the way this one turned out. It's just so fun. And I colored in a few things this month. I haven't been doing that, but that was super fun too. I think it really added a lot to the page. And I have a video on how I do this page, so I'll try to remember to link that. Not this page specifically, but the calendar itself. And then this is my health log and my happiness log. And these are the same that I've been doing each month. It's really working for me, so why fix it if it's not broken, right? So you can see I'm adding color this month, mainly because I thought it would be easier to pick out my totals at the end. But actually I really like the way it looks, so I'll probably keep doing it. It's super fun. I like color, I guess you can tell. And I know that I could do a habit tracker like with the little tick boxes, but for some reason I just have trouble keeping up with those, but not this. So I don't know what the difference is, because this seems like more work, but funny quirks. And then this, I decided to try the Rock Your Handwriting and Plan With Me challenges this month. I've done them several times in the past, but last month I just chose not to because work has been so busy. But I have a 2-week fall break. I'm a school teacher, so I thought I could get back into it in October. And honestly, I don't know why I did this. Like, normally I just look on my phone and do the ones I want to do. So I don't know why I went to this effort. I don't know if I will do it again. It really wasn't much time, but every minute counts when you're busy, right? So yeah, I've just colored in the ones I've done so far. And I didn't like this thick pen here, so you can see I wrote with a smaller pen there. I like that better. And this is my 6-word challenge prompt. You can find these on Page Flutter's Instagram. I really like doing these. It's simple, and I like the little mental challenge. It doesn't take much time. And I just think the page design looks really nice when they're all finished. I just think it's a really pretty look. So this is one of my favorite challenges these days. Yeah, this month it's a kind of a Halloween theme. I'm kind of trying to go with literary or film type entries as much as I can think of them. And this is for my Rock Your Handwriting challenge. I usually just pick out the prompts I want to do and choose which box might work for that prompt. And if I fill all these in, I'll make another page. So those are fun. These I haven't done. I think this was for my new grade book and whatnot. Yeah. And then this is my Cocoa Daisy log. And this is working out pretty well for me. Here it is. The funny thing I think is I also have a video of how to make this one, which is the same. But it was so funny because this month, this one just came together effortlessly. And last month when I was filming it, I had to redo it 3 times. I'm not even kidding. It was terrible. So yeah, this is the same thing. You can see I was experimenting with a tracker here, and I didn't keep up with it very well because, like I said, I'm not good with trackers, but I keep trying. But I changed it to along the edge here. I think aesthetically that looks a lot nicer. And I broke the lines up by the week. So this line is a Monday start, like that. So that way I didn't want to bother with writing in dates. All those tiny would just clutter it up. And then I did add another column here. So I put the date that I found out I needed to do something, and then checked it off when I did it and wrote down what it was. So here I reversed the checkbox. So I'm going to write the date in the second column and then check it off when I do it in the first column, which is tinier. And then I added an extra box to put the who, because a lot of times I'll have one person that I need to communicate or do several things for. So I thought I could just list the person's name here and then the specific tasks. So I thought that would mark things off more visually in a better way. So yeah. And then these are my weekly spreads for work, for school teacher. This first column is lesson plans. And the second column, I go to 2 schools per day. I'm an ESL teacher. So the first column is things I need to do at my first school, or I can do there. And the second column is for the second school. And I just check them off if I've done them, or I move them with the arrow if I didn't get them done. And then this box is for forward planning for the following week. So you can see Friday was the 7th, and I'm jumping forward to the 24th because we have 2 weeks off. Yep. And then this little column, the checkbox columns, are for my lesson plan, so I can check off. The 2 schools have the same lesson plans more or less, but I'm not always on pace exactly. So that way I know what I've done. And then I decided that I needed to start doing a daily. And I really didn't think I needed to do dailies, but work has been so hectic this year, and I'm going to so many different places and doing so many different things that I decided it was just mentally helpful to write the sequence of where I was going each day, because it changes from day to day, week to week. It changes all the time. So I did want to show you how I started, because I've never done dailies before. I mean, I've only done the bullet journal since July, really August. So I wanted to show you how that started. So this was the week I started with the dailies, and I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I just did the 4 boxes. And there was no school on Monday, so I knew 4 boxes would work. And you can just see I'm experimenting with spacing and titles and whatnot. And then I decided to try this freeform column thing. I thought that would be simple, not drawing too many boxes and things. And so I tried that. And again, I'm experimenting with titles and spacing. And then here I've got my spacing figured out. I like skipping a spot between each site that I have to go to. And then that leaves space to write things that I need to do there if I need to. And I've got my titles somewhat figured out, and I'm adding color, experimenting with that. And again, experimenting with different colors. And I'm not really liking the way, like this one laid well over the pink, but it didn't look as good over this one, if you know what I mean. So there's that. And I'm running into spacing issues, you know, because it's 3 days and 2 days. And I kept thinking that, you know, Wednesday could just overflow over here, but I don't know. So then I got to October, and I figured out that I could just, because all these pages have note pages next to them as well, So this side is notes on all of those because I find that I need to write notes throughout the week, and it's easier to remember where they are if I put them in the book. So I decided to try the box format again because I really like the little boxes. And so I decided to stagger them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then the empty boxes for notes. And I like that fairly well, but my spacing was off again because this was just more space width-wise than I needed. So I am trying, I already went ahead and did the next week when we go back, and I'm going to try this format. So I've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday on one page with forward planning, and then my notes back on the left again the way they were before. So we'll see if this is wide enough to get my little weather signs and my to-dos. Yep. So that's what I have for October, and I'm just loving these colors. It just feels like a bag of Jolly Ranchers when you open it up. I'm kind of sad that I only use it really 2 weeks this month because of fall break, but you know, it's fun. So thanks for watching, and I will chat with you soon. Bye.